Hello? Hello? Anybody there? Is there anybody there? Yes, guys, what's good? It's me, Tony Designs, and yeah, I'm sorry, guys, I've disappeared for a bit. The agency just got so busy that, yeah, we've just been flat out working, so the YouTube channel has been a little neglected, shall we say. But, you know, good news, I'm back. We're going to start creating some more video content a bit more consistently now. And obviously, we're going to be focusing on WordPress and creating websites using, you know, plugins, themes, page builders, all that kind of stuff. And the first video that we're going to be putting out, or actually going to be a series of videos, we're going to be looking at WPForms, okay? So obviously, for those of you who remember, you know, a good few years ago, before WordPress and stuff like that, you know, forms are really tricky to create. It took a lot of coding, a real sort of pain in the arse kind of job, really. So yeah, now though, super easy, drag and drop. You know, it's a very competitive field. There's lots of different form building software, and we're going to look at WPForms. So yeah, WPForms. Let's have a look. So there's a free version, there's a paid version. Okay, so we're going to look at the free version, or at least we're going to start with the free version, and then a later video is going to be looking at the paid version. What can you do? What can you do with WPForms? You can create contact forms, payment forms, surveys, newsletters, all kinds of forms, registration forms, okay? And with the pro version, you can do conditional forms, you can do user flow forms, registration forms, submit content forms, payment forms, loads of forms, okay? And yeah, the paid version has over 150 templates. It's a drag and drop form builder, so really easy to use, mobile friendly. It's got smart conditional logic. Yeah, all that cool stuff. Sounds really, really good. Okay, and these guys, yeah, I mean, they claim to be one of the biggest and most popular form builders plugins out there, so that's really great. Now, obviously, there's the free version that we're going to look at. There's also the paid version, which you can see, you know, pro $159. But this allows you to make payment forms, recurring subscription forms, amazing. So you can make a membership site with this form builder. It's got 150 templates. You can do surveys and polls, digital signatures. It's got geolocation fields, so you can use it to create directories and all this kind of stuff. Conversational forms, user journey reports, user registration, post submissions. Really, really great. You know. So $159. I think that's a great price for this product. But if you don't have $159, guess what? You're in luck. Because to apologize for the absence from creating content for YouTube, we're actually going to run a competition, and we're going to give away not one, not two, but 3 licenses for WPForms, pro licenses. So if you want to find out more about that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, drop me a comment, and yeah, we're going to give away 3 licenses over the coming weeks. So there you go. Right, let's jump straight into this now then, and we're actually going to have a bash at creating a form, okay? So if we go to our dev site, we're on the dashboard, we're going to go to plugins, we're going to go to add new, okay? And actually, if you pop your keyword in here, if you just search forms, you can see how many different form builders there are. So there you go. So we've got WPForms. You click on install now. It's going to whir around for a minute. Hopefully not a minute, a few seconds. Hit activate. There you go. Okay, right. We've now got the WPForms menu item in a left-hand field. So if we click on that, okay, it's going to take us to the forms overview. So here is where all of our forms will be listed. Let's just delete that. We're going to start from scratch. Okay, so we can add new. We can let's have a look at all the options. We can add new. We can click on entries. So entries. Okay, so this is for WPForms Pro. Okay, so you can actually log all of the forms that are sent on your website. It's really handy, really useful. It's only in Pro, so we'll look at that next time. Okay, if we look at the settings, again, you got your Pro license, all the rest of it. Some settings around it, kind of email template that's sent out. You can add your capture in here, okay? So if you want to stop spam, you're definitely going to want to add capture. Validation, yeah. Integrations, geolocation. Okay, fine. A lot of this is for pros, guys. Click on tools. So you can import and export. Okay, so you can import your forms from other plugins, and you can export your forms for using on another site or something like that. Analytics is, so you can use this to track in Google Analytics the performance of your forms. That's really useful. I didn't know that's in there. Something I'm going to dig into and have a look at another time. Install and activate WP Mail SMTP. So if you're having problems with email deliverability, you're not receiving your forms, you know, a couple of things you can do is just install WP Mail SMTP, and then make sure that you're using, you know, an SMTP provider to route all of your mail. Probably going to set up a video on that another time. The other thing is you can set that log up. That login will be really, really useful. You know, we set up SMTP on all of our sites. We actually use Elastic Email for that, and we also log all the mail as well. So that, you know, it's just a double kind of double capture, really. You know, so nothing's missed. Because obviously if you're generating leads online, it's really important that you get those leads, right? Okay, let's have a look at adding a form. Okay, so if we click on add new, pops up this little user interface. Okay, you can give it a full name here. So I'm just going to call this contact form 1. I don't know why. And as you scroll down, you can see you've got all of these templates. Okay, so you can either create a blank form and start from scratch, or you can use one of these templates. There's a simple contact form, newsletter sign up form, opt-in form, one for constant contact, terms of service agreement, feature request, lead magnet. There's absolutely heaps of these in here, party invitation, meeting room registration form. You know, so they've got loads and loads of different form templates for you to use. Obviously the free ones are, you know, there's a handful of those. And there's a lot more in the Pro, okay? But any of these forms you're going to be able to create using the fields and starting off with a blank form. So let's do that. Let's create a blank form. Brilliant. Okay, so we can see the screen is sort of split into 3 sort of sections, if you like. So on the left, we've got the black sort of menu bar. We've then got this window here, which has got all of our fields in it. And we've then actually got the form on the right-hand side. So we can drag our fields into the form. Now, with the free version of WPForms, you can see the standard fields. This is the fields we've got to play with, okay? So there's plenty here. These fancy fields and payment fields, these are for the Pro version. So we're not going to look at those today. You've got add fields and you've got field options, okay? So if we go through these one by one and we'll just create a little form, okay? So single line text, let's drag that over, okay? And what we're going to ask for in this single line text, I think, is the, what should we ask for? Let's set this as a subject, okay? So you can see here's our form, okay? If you click on it and the window on the left-hand side changes, you can see we've now got the field options, okay? So this field is called the single line text. It's got a label of single line text. Let's change this, and we're going to change this to subject, okay? So we're going to ask people to give us a subject on their form. Now, you've got a description field. You don't necessarily need to use that. And you've also got a required field. So if this is on required, it means that they won't be able to submit the form without filling in that field, okay? We'll leave that off for a second. And then let's look on advanced, okay? So we've got field size. So we've got small, medium, and large. And that's literally how much space it takes up. You've got placeholder text. So we can put in here, you know, tell us what your message is about. Okay, you can limit the length to however many characters you like. Okay, so they can only enter, you know, 20 characters or whatever. You can add a default value, input mask, and CSS classes. You can also hide the label. That's fine. So that's that field. So tell us what your message is about. That's the single line text. The paragraph text, if we drop that in there. Okay, and we're going to use this one to let them, you know, tell us what their message is. So we can change the label to enter message. Just your message might be better. again, click on advanced, you know, you've got all the same fields. So let's select the same field size. So actually small, in this instance, small, medium or large is actually the height rather than the width. We'll select medium. We can enter some placeholder text in here. Awesome, paragraph text. So then you've then got a drop down field. So if we drop this in here, okay, so the drop down, so we could set this to be something like, you know, choose your subject, and then you can add as many choices as you like, but we're going to say the subject options are SEO, digital marketing, media. Awesome. Now under advanced, we've got some styles here. So we've got classic and modern. Doesn't actually change on the user interface, but if we preview, let's just save this, save our form. If we click on preview, so this is classic, and you can see your drop downs like this. And if we change that to modern, save the form, preview, you can see it's a slightly different look. Obviously, you can style all of this by you know, CSS. You can set up your custom styles for your form elements in your form. Next field, we've got multiple choice. This is a good one. So this is the little radio checkboxes. And actually, what we can use this for is we can use this for GDPR. So, have you read with privacy policy? We can add a link into there. We can delete these two choices, and we can just change this to yes, I agree. If we set this to required, they won't be able to get past. They won't be able to submit the form without ticking this yes, I agree box. Perfect. Go back to add fields. Lots of checkboxes. It's more of the same really. So we've got numbers. So for numbers, we could put your phone number. It's really very easy, really very intuitive. We've also got an email address and name. So just drop these two in here. So under name, you know, we've got name first and last. So you can have an actual simple format, or you could have first, middle, and last name. We'll keep it simple. I prefer lots. We've got email, so we can put the email in there, so we can request their email address. A number slider, you know, perhaps you could ask somebody to tell you their budget or something like that. And finally, capture. Obviously, capture is not going to work because we haven't actually set that up, but I suggest that you would set that up, and you would add that to your form, or else you're going to get inundated with spam. So anyway, that's it. That's our form. That's the first form. So if we save that, we preview that, you know, here's all our fields. Look pretty cool. And actually, I don't like the order of that. So you can actually just edit the order very easily by selecting an element and dragging and dropping. So we'll probably start with the name. Start with the name, you know, the phone number, email address. So deleting a field is very easy. Just hover on the item you want to remove, and then click on this red delete bin icon on the right hand side, and it's as easy as that. Really easy. So there you go. That's our form done. And when it comes to getting it on our page, we've got a few ways of doing that. We can actually embed it directly from this user interface. So if we click on this, we can select an existing page, or we can create a new page. Let's create a new page. We'll call the new page contacts. Click on let's go. And there you go. There's our form on a page in WordPress using the Gutenberg editor. Now obviously you can use shortcodes to embed it. If you're using page builders like Elementor or anything like that, you can either use the shortcode, or there is actually widgets for that as well. If we publish this, click view page, there you go. You can see there's our form on the front end of the website. So I think you agree that's really easy to do, really easy to put together, really intuitive. You know, you've got all the fields you need to create a simple form. That's it really. Just quickly show you one more thing. We actually go back to the forms, all forms. If we click on edit of the form we've just created, and then we go down to settings, okay? We've got a few settings here, okay? So under the general, you've got the form name, the text on the submit button, so you can change that quite easily. You can see at the moment it just says submit, so we can just change this to you know, get started or something like that. Save that, and if we refresh our front end screen, we can see that that label's changed. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So notifications. Okay, so notifications. So this is who, this is the email that's going to be sent to you to tell you you've got an email on your website, kind of thing. So you've got the send to email address. Now, by default, you use the admin one, but we can enter other email addresses in here. You can change the subject. You can change the from name, from email address, the reply to email address. And the email message, so under here we've got all fields, so this is going to list all of the fields in our form. So that's it really, quite simple. And confirmations, so the confirmation email is the email that's sent to the person sending you the email, you know, to say thanks for emailing us, we'll be in touch within 24 hours or whatever it is you're going to put in there. So this is all customizable, all really easy to do, and yeah, really great stuff. So I hope this video has been good for you, it's been helpful. Hope this video has been of some use. You know, if you've liked it, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the like button, drop me a comment, and we're running that competition in the next few weeks. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next video.